Welcome to our review for Doctor Who Series 11. Our ramble over Doctor Who Series 11. I have like a brief kind of thing, but we're just going to kind of be going over our general thoughts. If you know, you know that reference. But yeah, I feel like this might take a while. I have spare SD cards to get us through it, hopefully, but we'll see how long this takes. But basically, I thought we would go through our order for the episodes because we've ranked them.
We're going to go from worst to best.
Yeah, and then we're going to... I've made a list of like new and different things about Series 11 that we could talk about.
Yes.
Then kind of 5 things we like, 5 things we dislike, or however many you've written down.
I have at least 5 likes, so that's fine.
That's alright then, that'll do. But yeah, that's kind of the general structure that we're going with. General structure. Nice. So yeah, we'll probably just get right into it. And what is your least favourite episode of Series 11? I want to say, we're going to try and not be negative. But that's not going to happen.
We're going to do 5 good and 5 bad. So.
Yeah. I want it to be a general kind of positive thing. Constructive criticism is what I'm going. Oh, I keep saying general now. That's going to bug me.
General now?
General now. If they haven't seen...
You're making a major mistake.
Major mistake. It's from How I Met Your Mother. I'm just going to say that because we've completely butchered this start. But yeah, obviously it's going to be a top 10 no matter what because there's only 10 episodes. But yeah, what is 10th and last place for you?
To be honest, 9 and 10 were pretty close together, I think. But my number 10 is the Tsuranga Conundrum.
Really?
Yes. As much as I
am gobsmacked.
It's not that I didn't like it. I feel that it just didn't have much to it.
Yeah.
Just because the alien in it, I think, is what lets it down. And we're going to have that a couple of times along this list.
Probably.
I can tell you. But I do think if they're going for that kind of, this is a really dangerous alien.
Yeah.
It needs to be something that's not Stitch.
Yeah.
But saying like if they not like I don't know if it was more light-hearted, if it was more like a light-hearted episode, I would have understood. But it was an episode that was taking itself quite seriously.
Yeah.
Like they killed someone off within the first 5-10 minutes, and he couldn't act, which will now be one of my bad things. We'll get to that.
Yeah. So that's your.
That's my number 10.
I can't believe that's your least favourite.
Well, it's the way I made this list was I looked at all the episodes and I just sort of the first thing that came to my head.
Just like a.
Like I didn't want to think about it too much because obviously my gut feeling would be my right one.
Yeah.
So I listed it based on that. So I didn't really do too much thinking. I did afterwards, but my gut was what I was.
That's fair. All right. So that's your least favourite. Well, my least favourite is the Ghost Monument. It's not that it's a bad episode in Series 11, I think, but for me, I felt Ghost Monument was just the most goddamn average, apart from the end TARDIS. Because even with like Tsuranga, I remember the fitting. I don't find a lot memorable.
We had that issue when we were looking at that article and they were like, Ismail or whatever her name was. It was the character's name from the Ghost Monument. Like, she'll return, and we were like, who's this? Who's
yeah.
Like, yes, she's the one that wins.
It was just like, all I can remember from Ghost Monument really, apart from the TARDIS, is Evil Rags, which isn't the most memorable monster for me, and the story that guy told about his mum not catching him when he jumped out of the tree.
Oh yeah.
That's basically all I can remember.
Don't forget the Timeless Child.
Oh yeah, it was an episode of False Promises, almost. They could still go back to the Timeless Child, but for me, I just found it very average.
Yeah.
And it was just there. And I think, because I'm looking back at it now, I liked it more at the time, I think, because we'd only had 2 episodes.
Yes.
I was like, I like what they're doing with it. But I feel like we've had better episodes
when you
since
look
then.
over the whole of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As a whole. I think that's the thing. Spoilers. But for the whole of like Series 11, I think the parts are better than the sum of the whole.
Yeah. That's what a lot of people have been saying.
If you look at it as individual episodes, I think they're quite strong. Looking at it as a series as a whole, I think is where it kind of falls. But yeah, least favourite for me is Ghost Monument.
My number 9 is Ghost Monument.
Uh-huh.
So that was, like I said, both 10 and 9 were pretty close.
Yeah.
Like if I could put them both on one, I would, but I just think Ghost Monument edged it because it knew what it wanted to be.
Yeah.
And there wasn't really a villain, but it threw up some interesting questions, which I hope we end up getting answers to. Something that I know Doctor Who doesn't always answer things straight away. You might have to wait a season or two till 2020 and to find out what they're on about.
That hurts.
But I think it knew what it wanted to be.
Yeah.
The acting's fairly good in it for what it is. The guest stars are quite strong.
Mm-hmm.
Dodgy editing every now and then, but there is throughout the series.
You pick up on editing much more than I do.
That's just because
it has to be spectacularly shit for me to notice.
Part of my uni course is like editing footage, and so
Yeah.
if I can just see when there's shite editing.
Yeah.
'Cause it's not necessarily editing; it might just be a case of they forgot to film a scene, like in last night's episode where he picked up the gun.
Yeah.
You don't see them. Just all it needs is a quick cut to the floor and the gun go off the thing, or them just go whoop.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't need that much, but little things like that. But
Yeah.
that was the case with the Ghost Monument and the don't forget the flesh-eating water.
Oh god, yeah, that we never actually really saw do anything.
So that was, but again, that's more menacing than the Pating. So, and we don't see it do anything.
That's true.
I feel, which I think is why I've put it better.
Yeah. That's why people don't like the fake baby faces.
I know, but at least they actually kill people.
They do. They make them into skin suits. Bring back the
Exactly.
Sudeen. They should have been the big bad for Series 11. And my number 9 is arachnids in the UK. Giant spiders, no. Basically. I feel like that's very much a personal thing. Because I just don't want to be seeing that on my screen. But I feel like it's the whole PC culture and stuff. I feel like this was the episode that really kind of rammed it down our throats more so than any other. And again, it's not as bad. I had a lot of fun watching it. But I think it's just a case of I got more out of other episodes in the series, and I found the whole Stormzy leading the spiders away kind of ridiculous, and that kind of killed a lot of the momentum for me. And we got promised a bit more for Yaz and her family, and we got some, but I still feel like it kind of under-delivered on that promise. But again, I feel like it's one of the more average episodes of the season, so that's why it's number 9 for me.
Speaking of anticlimactic and things that take you out of the episode, my number 8
Oh god, here we go.
is It Takes You Away with the Frog Universe.
Oh boy. We really disagree on this episode.
Yeah, it's different how we... I think we both disagree with the frog, but you can forgive it, whereas I can't.
Yeah, I'm over the frog now.
I think, for me, it's a case of they build up this whole thing, which has a really interesting moral centre, and then they go and ruin it by using a frog on a chair.
Yeah.
And I just think they could have done a lot more, and it just feels cheap.
Yeah.
The way they sort of went, yeah, this is a universe that's really alone, and it just wants friends and stuff. Oh, look, it's a frog! And it goes like that, and I'm like... I know Doctor Who's supposed to be silly every now and then,
Yeah.
but the whole episode needs to be silly.
Yeah.
Like, it can't just be serious. It's the same with the Pating, really. It can't be serious, and then just throw in like, oh yeah, look, it's a frog, it's funny.
Yeah.
Especially when we have the emotional moments with Ryan and Graham and Grace and all that. Like, that was really heavy stuff, and then literally 2 scenes later, it's a frog on a chair.
Yeah. With Grace's voice.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, and so I think that's why it's...
honestly, I'm surprised it's that high, to be honest, given
Yeah, I think
your
it is,
constant reaction.
It is. I think it is because it's got a better plot than the other two that I've put.
Yeah.
I think it's just the weak frog
It's just
that lets it down.
me. You're gonna hate me. I'm gonna get so much hate for this. But 8 for me is Kablam.
God, you hate me, Lee Mack. Oh, why do you hate me back?
Oh no! I don't hate Lee Mack. I don't like his show not going out. Okay, I just think it's I didn't even think about that. But yeah, everyone in the world likes this episode more than I do. I think it's okay. I really like the Kablam Man robot things. I think that's a really cool design.
Like a mixture of the Weeping Angels and the Heavenly Hosts.
Yeah,
from Voyage of the
I do
Dawn.
think they had one of the stronger villains in that guy. What's his face? I'm going
And
to
it
call
made
him
sense.
Jin. Yeah, for no reason. I really like the idea of the bubble wrap and stuff, and that whole kind of twisted love story. But I don't know what it was. I just found something missing in it. I don't know if I just bigged it up in my head or something. I feel like there was just so much padding in there. I feel like I didn't take a lot away from it again. and it's a fun kind of sci-fi story, but I don't think there's any like big character moments or character-driven plots that really stand out to me in like as a whole, which is kind of why it's just floating there. But yeah, sorry, don't hate me. It's okay. Everyone's opinion's different, obviously. So yeah, what's your 7th?
My 7th is Arachnids in the UK.
Nice.
I didn't have as many issues with it, I don't think, as you did.
No.
I feel that, as forced as it was with the Trump comparison, I do feel it makes sense because he's become president. I feel it does warrant TV and film to show that there will be people trying to emulate him.
What killed it for me is that they mentioned Trump, and he's like, I don't say that name.
But it's weird because you can have two sides of either people are going to say, why didn't you just mention it? Like, you shouldn't have just, like, it's clearly meant to be this, why are they doing this? People will be angry whether you mentioned the name or not because they see the comparison.
Yeah.
So it's a lose-lose, really, for the show. But I do think that is something we're going to see coming forwards in TV and film across channels and networks. Just because it's going to spawn people that think, hey, if this guy with no credentials and money can become president, then so can I.
Yeah.
And it's interesting to see this, especially because we've not had a president/prime minister person in the show since, Harold Saxon? Maybe Obama in End of Time? Obama in End of Time?
Yeah, probably it was Obama.
We've had Winston Churchill, but not modern day.
Yeah.
So I think it'd be interesting if they set this up to be he becomes the president of the US, and then that's sort of the same way that we had Harold Saxon kind of thing.
Yeah,
but not
Harriet Jones.
like a Harriet Jones kind of figure.
Yeah.
Where the Doctor doesn't necessarily think they're a bad guy, they just don't make the right choices.
Yeah.
Which would be interesting because that's an arc we haven't had for a while.
Kind of thing. Yeah.
But giant spiders, it makes sense. It's not Alien.
I
do
like
think
that kind of
the resolution was a bit poor. Not necessarily because of the music, but because of where they send the spiders into the cave to die. Like,
lock them up.
she says that we can't kill them, yet she kills them by locking them in that room. I get if maybe they played the music into the TARDIS and they went into a room in the TARDIS and she shot an escape pod out with them all in onto a planet somewhere. That would have been fine.
It was kind of more humane to shoot them, but she thought it was more humane to lock them in the room and stuff.
Yeah, which is why I think there could be a rivalry between the Doctor and the American guy.
Yeah.
Because they do have the different ideals, but one of them is clearly more humane, and at the minute it's not the Doctor's version.
Yeah.
But then if that changes, it changes. If they even come back.
Yes. My 7 is Swanger Conundrum. I don't think I hate the Pating as much as some. I mean, it's stupid.
I don't hate them.
Yeah.
I just don't think
it did take away, once it was revealed what it was, it did kind of take that away. But I don't know why I'm so forgiving of it, but I just had a laugh with it, and it looked kind of adorable, and it would sell plushie toys, and it would sell pop vinyls if they even make them.
That's what I get. If they don't make something for this, what's the point in them designing it like that?
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, I think why this is higher than most for me is like the character moments, because that's what I kind of eat up in TV shows. Because I really like what they did with the pregnant guy and Ryan, and their kind of connection with like the father thing and everything.
Don't forget Doc Brown and his sister.
And Doc Brown, yeah. I think that was his sister.
And the commander guy that couldn't act.
Yeah, but he died, it's fine.
Okay.
He died 10 minutes in.
Even though he was actually an interesting character, he just couldn't deliver his lines very well.
Oh well. But yeah, I think, a few exceptions aside, I think the supporting cast are pretty cool. And I think out of a lot of the supporting casts this season, that was kind of the subplots I got more invested in. So yeah, with the exception of one other episode, which I'll talk about later.
Yeah, with that one, I think, for me, the subplots I felt were there just so the characters had something to do.
Yeah.
Whilst the Doctor was doing her main thing, which is fine, but it felt like it was just a bit of a forced issue.
Yeah, and also he gets at least 5 points for Yaz kicking the Pating in that towel thing, because that was iconic. And that was Yaz's best moment in
I
series
don't
11.
want aliens to be harmed.
I love that shot so much. When that was in the trailer. And then it
Oh my
turned
god,
out...
is it a bomb? No, it's,
What is it?
it's Stitch.
Why is she kicking that jacket thing? It was just
Oh.
a weird alien thing. But yeah, that's Saranga. That is our 7th place. So what have you got for 6?
Last night's episode, Battle of Ranskor Av Kolos.
OMG, same!
Oh!
We agree on something.
I thought we would. When we got to this bit, I was like, yeah, I'm pretty sure we'll probably have similar top 5s.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is... It was good.
It was good.
Don't get me wrong, it was good. And like I said yesterday, if you put the 3 episodes together, I think you have a really solid 3-story arc.
Yeah.
I like the action sequences. I like the thought of the action sequences. We didn't see it. We just see. That's what I think we see more of. Action sequences that are space battles and stuff, rather than just crashed spaceships.
Yeah.
Like we have seen a couple of times. I'd like to see more.
Yeah.
More civilizations than just 1 or 2 people.
Yeah. There were moments of greatness. I like that they brought Tim Shaw back.
Yes.
I feel like, I mean, I liked him in the first episode quite a bit. I might prefer him in this episode.
Yeah, he's more
just because of the
menacing in this.
threat he posed.
Yeah.
Even if we didn't see a lot of the threat he posed, I kind of got what he was going for.
He's a bad guy that went and got stronger.
Yeah.
Compared to bad guys who just come back the same.
Yeah. It was interesting that in his body he got weaker, but his kind of plots and everything, he had more of like an evil side to him there. But yeah, there were moments of greatness and there's some really good ideas with like the shrinking planets and those 2 people who were part of the same race.
And the glaring issue I have is the Doctor's bombs still.
Yes, that's my big...
Don't kill him, Graham, but we can attach these bombs to things and you can blow up walls, that's fine, but not people.
Yeah.
That's the only issue. And
that's
like we've already seen, that seems to be a running theme so far. Because we've already mentioned the Doctor not wanting to kill people, but then killing things.
It was like... in Arachnids in the UK, she said she loves conspiracies, and then was it Kablam? She said she hates conspiracies. Yeah. So it's just some kind of
2 different writers, are they?
I think it is.
Yeah, well, they're all different writers unless it's Chibnall, isn't it?
Yeah.
And he didn't write
Chibnall wrote
either
4
of them, I
episodes.
don't think. He wrote Woman Who Fell to Earth, Ghost Monument, Last Nights, and I want to say he co-wrote Rosa.
He co-wrote that, and he wrote Arachnids in the UK as well.
Okay, so yeah, so it won't be.
Did he write Saranga? Was that someone else?
Yeah, I don't know. I'll Google it.
Google it quickly. Quickly. Quickly.
IMDb, I have too many apps.
Quickly.
Sorry, the Wi-Fi. So it's the Wi-Fi.
Yeah, we've only just got our Wi-Fi back today, so
it went off earlier as well.
It did.
I was like, oh, please don't do this.
Yeah, I noticed that. Which is why the reaction also didn't help being a bit late because we didn't have any net to upload it with.
Right. Yeah, Chris Chibnall written by and Tim Price created the Pating.
Oh no.
So you know who to send your tweets to now.
Don't do this. Oh no. Sorry, Tim.
Chibnall did write the Saranga Conundrum.
Right. Interesting to note. Anyway, talking about the episode we're supposed to be talking about. I think it was a good episode.
We didn't see a battle despite the name being Battle.
Yeah, and then there were moments of brilliance in there. As a finale, I think it was a bit lackluster.
Yes.
That's
the issue. We're getting the real finale on New Year's Day.
Yeah, I liked the Doctor's speech wrapping it all up at the end. Yeah, I thought that was a nice little speech to wrap up like the series, if you will. But yeah, I think it was just underwhelming as a finale more so than an episode.
Yeah, and that's what I was worried about in the weeks leading up to it. Would this actually be a finale scale? And it attempted it with the sort of Earth destruction. But you didn't really feel that was actually going to happen because again you didn't see any scared humans being like, oh no, and obviously they couldn't see the Earth getting redder and redder, so I don't know, but
yeah, it's a good episode. As a finale.
Again, all of these, none of these are terrible.
There's not an episode I hate.
No,
at all.
There's none that I would never watch
which
again.
is quite rare. I think that's kind of a big achievement for Series 11.
Yeah,
there's normally at least one.
There's
or
no
two.
Fear Her or Love and Monsters.
Yeah,
the go-tos.
Yeah, I get to. So I watched Love and Monsters again the other day. It was on TV. It's awful.
Oh. But that one I think is just average.
Yeah. So number 5, what'd you get?
Demons of the Punjab.
Yeah, same.
I like, again, this is now we're getting into the good episodes. Good episode.
We're getting into the good shit now. Yeah.
This was a surprisingly deep episode for what I thought it was going to be.
Yes.
I didn't know anything about it going in.
Yep.
I was concerned that with the title, I was like, they need to tread carefully, same as with Rosa.
Yeah.
I think they did it really well. They handled her not granddad's death surprisingly well, because obviously at the start of the episode you're like,
surprisingly.
who's this guy? I don't want him to be. You're on like Yaz's side with. I don't want this to be her granddad. And by the end of this episode, you're like, why can't he?
And while I don't think we needed the aliens in there, I liked the design of them and that shot. They like send like that image of his head up, and there's loads of different images.
Yes.
I think that's one of my favourite shots of the series.
And I think they could come back because, like they said, they were a villain race before their planet got destroyed, so they could come back in terms of either way, good or bad.
Yeah, or they could just come back like Ood Sigma in
exactly.
specials,
Yeah, they
like
could
foreshadowing.
They could herald the end of someone.
Jodie when she leaves.
Because obviously she
hopefully like 5 years. Because I want her forever.
Sorry, she's going at the end of 2020.
Don't say that, because that would have been like 3 years.
Oh. Yeah, I think I was going to say all the supporting cast is good in this, but bad guy brother is maybe
this
not.
This is one of my least favourite supporting casts of the series.
I like everyone but bad guy brother.
Oh really?
I think everyone else is pretty solid, especially not Grandad.
I saw a lot of people praise bad guy brother.
No, I can't. He's just a bit...
Yeah, I kind of connected with the story behind the characters more than the performances for this episode, I think, for me. But yeah, I really liked the focus on Yaz's family. And the whole wedding scene I thought was really nice. And Bradley Walsh in that bit where he's like saying you're a good guy or something, and he's like choking up, but he's clearly learned from Rosa that he can't really say much and stuff.
Yeah, because he knows that he's going to die at that point, but he's got to...
Yeah.
He's got to
suck it up, but yeah.
That's the harsh bit, I think, in that episode, is that the four of them know that he's going to die, but they can't. They only have to say it. It's kind of like Father's Day.
Yeah.
Which is basically what I think we compared it to.
You did, yeah.
It's basically Father's Day in the fact that they just have to stand there and let it happen. They can't interfere else.
Yeah. It is a surprisingly emotional episode.
Yeah, and one that I didn't expect to get. So
I think this was one of the few that exceeded my expectations going into it.
Yes, this one came after Arachnids, didn't it?
This was after Swanger.
So we'd had
your least favourite.
My least. So we'd had a down like a not so heavy free sort of episode that wasn't like the best, and then we had this one which I think might elevate it more.
Yeah, I think it was very well placed in the season.
Yeah, and a lot of these episodes I think were, but then there are some that I think could have done better being moved.
Yeah.
Like maybe a week or something.
Yeah, because even the finale could have kind of been put anywhere after episode 1 and 2.
Well, like I said, you could put all three together at the start of the season.
Yeah, and that would have been a good
solid
trilogy. But yeah.
So that was your
good episode
as well, wasn't it?
Yes. What about number 4?
I put Rosa at number 4.
You what? Turn off this camera. I'm leaving.
Again, it's not that I don't like it. I just think it won't hold up much upon repeat viewings.
It's because you didn't watch it with me. That's why I didn't like it.
Yeah, maybe.
And I enjoyed it more because you weren't here.
Yeah, maybe that's why I didn't enjoy it. But I just think I don't think it's one that I could see myself watching again.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that I won't watch it again. I just think it's too heavy. The same way I don't watch Listen.
Yeah.
More than a couple of times because I think it's a lot of heavy stuff in it.
It's deep. Yeah, they go all out.
Yeah, especially in this one, it's everything, and it's good for the time, and it's good to show people, and it's good, and everyone should watch it. But as a Doctor Who fan that has at least the whole of New Who to watch, I don't think it's something that I would jump straight to.
No.
Even in this season, I don't think it's something I jump
in
straight
general, if you like Doctor Who, I feel like you're there for the sci-fi elements.
I am. I'm very much... Don't get me wrong, I love character development, and if it's a good character, I'm all in for them getting better or worse or whatever. But I think I'm mostly in this sci-fi show for the sci-fi.
Yeah.
Not to say
I think
that
it's fair enough.
Not to say that I don't like the historical episodes. I do. I thought the villain in this one was a cool villain.
Krasko, yeah.
I wouldn't mind seeing him again, just because I think that's a different type of villain we've not really had.
Yeah.
Recently.
Space racist.
Yeah, and not even that. Again, there's still the whole debate as to whether by race he meant human race or black people. Which, I mean, if they wanted to explore that way, they could.
Yeah.
But as the episode as a whole, I just think it's something that it's too deep for me to rewatch more than a couple of times.
I think that's fair.
I rewatch it in a series rewatch, but if I want an episode to go to out of the series,
I have like 50 minutes to spare. You're not going to
Yeah.
think, oh, I know what will make it feel good.
if
I
I
go to uni, let's stick on Rosa.
if I'm picking an episode out of this season, it's going to be one of my top 3, and I mean you'll see why they're the ones that I put
Yeah.
that I could easily go back to and rewatch.
Yeah. I think what's interesting about my top 3 is that none of them are written by Chibnall.
One of mine is
Because I know one of yours. Because speaking of which, number
yeah.
4
Yeah,
for me is The Woman Who Fell to Earth.
yeah,
I think this was very close. My top 4, very close.
yeah. Even mine.
I had a clear
close.
favourite.
Yeah.
I had a clear top 2, and it's still very close between those 2.
Yeah.
But yeah, this could have easily been like 3rd or 4th for me. Because looking back as a whole, I think I appreciate it even more now than I did then. So I think it's a brilliant introduction to most, if not all, of the characters. I love the idea of Grace also being the woman who fell to Earth. How they started with like Ryan's YouTube video that already had 2 dislikes, the bastards.
That YouTube video that he has now just completely offed his channel because he's too busy.
He can just go back in time. He can pre-record loads of videos.
Yeah, he can just put them on the same time. Okay.
But yeah, and how they revisited that at the end, I thought was really nice. I thought Tim Shaw was a really effective bad guy for the first episode. That we didn't know we'd bring him back, but I thought he looked great. Salad Man's in it, the meme.
Salad
the
Man
living
is the
meme.
best thing.
Salad Halloween. That was iconic. Yeah, it got me really emotional for episode 1 of A New Era, which I think hasn't really happened before for me. Because Graham's speech, Grace's funeral.
Yeah.
And yeah, I feel like Jodie was great in it. All the main casts were brilliant, and I think it's just a really great way to kick off the series. And it's kind of only cliffhanger ending of the series, if you will.
Yeah.
Because they all ended up floating in space.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think looking back at it, I just appreciate it all the more as like the start of A New Era. I had a blast with that, and I think it helped that it was an hour long as well. But yeah, what's 4 for you?
Yeah, my 4 is my number 3.
What's your number 3?
The Witchfinders.
Oh,
my number 3.
This is higher than I thought it would be.
Again, this is what I said a minute ago. The top 3 are just episodes that I could go back to and watch just for pure enjoyment. And I think The Witchfinders, I think it's more because of us taking the absolute piss out of we and witchcraft.
We were not taking the piss.
Enjoying the sayings.
Soaking in the goodness of that performance.
Because of the amount of fun I had with that episode.
We're still quoting him now.
We are. It will just be randomly in the house. I'm sure Neil is fed up with it.
Oh yeah, he must hate us.
You'll just hear us go, we? Or then witchcraft.
Alfonso! And that's been nearly 3 weeks since that episode
Exactly. And I think that's why it's in my top 3, just because I had a lot of fun watching it.
I think that episode just smile because
Exactly. I think it's an episode you could play a drinking game to.
Yeah.
Almost definitely. And maybe we should try that. But
yes.
I just think, like, with all my top
yes.
3, it's something I could sit down and watch quite easily. The guest cast in it are pretty solid.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Ryan James I romance is something which I didn't expect would happen. And Graham being the Witchfinder General, I just think it's all ridiculous, and that's the tone it goes with. It goes with the ridiculous tone, and it works.
Yeah, it sticks with it really.
And it doesn't try and change that as much. The plot could have been resolved a bit better because they left everything to the last 10 minutes.
Yeah.
But other than that, I think it's a pretty solid episode, and that's why I've put it 3rd.
Nice. Well, 3 for me, I'm sure you'll agree it deserves to be this high, is It Takes You Away. Even though you've already talked about it. Up until the frog.
Yeah, this is what I mean.
I think it's incredibly strong. And I mean, we don't really need the bit in the anti-zone, but I appreciate
I completely forgot about the bit in the
what
anti-zone.
they were going for. I really like that creepy guy's
And the
performance. Those moths.
Right,
they
maybe-
kind of forgot about the moths.
Can I move it back down to
Granted.
9?
No.
You've said it now, it's out there. But yeah, I liked the whole kind of mystery behind these kind of things. What the hell was going on, because I was so confused like the first 25 minutes.
Yeah.
I liked the emotion of Grace being in it, and her frog necklace. which they definitely didn't bring up again.
Which they hadn't mentioned previously.
That's
That's what I mean. They could have just had him in Arachnids pick up her necklace off the dresser
really
and be
nice.
like,
That'd be a nice
"Oh,
moment.
I'm going to wear this to remember her or whatever." That's because that could be why he went back to the house.
But yeah, I really liked the setting of it. I really liked what they were doing with some of the characters and the character arcs. I loved the whole idea of like the sentient universe, and I think the biggest thing for me is Jodie's speech when she's like saying goodbye to that universe at the end, and kissing it goodbye and everything. Because that was like, oh, you are the Doctor. Like, I worship you. Kiss her feet, kiss her boots. As long as she hadn't been in a puddle or anything.
Like she drenched herself in last episode.
Yeah. But yeah, I just really got invested in what was going on. Frog slightly killed it.
That's what it did for me. I was very invested, and then as soon as that came on, I was like, "No."
But with you, you haven't got past that. Maybe never will.
No.
I've gotten past it and can kind of be like, you know, it's a thing.
There's things.
It's a very drastic tonal shift, I think.
Funnily enough, it took me away from the episode and made me realise I'm watching a TV show, which I think is something
funny.
they shouldn't have done.
That's good.
But
I'm cutting that out. That's too funny.
But yeah, for me it was. I was immersed until that came out, and because it was a dodgy puppet as well,
it wasn't the best.
I think it literally took me away from the story, and I was like, okay, I am watching an episode, and it's not the best.
Yeah, I think that was the big kind of drawback for me. But I liked kind of the emotions of what they're doing, all the other characters and stuff. But honestly, if that frog had been maybe anything else,
literally anything else,
yeah, I think that could have easily been my favourite of the series.
I saw a comment, I don't know if it's on your video or somewhere else, saying that it could have even been the Doctor has like exactly herself, like Jodie facing a Jodie.
Yeah.
And then because the universe could be aspiring to be her and stuff, and that could make even that would have been better.
That'd been cute.
A frog, but we got a frog.
Frog on a chair. On the chair.
Frog
you should remember the chair.
Frog on a chair, a wooden chair, not even a nice leather chair.
I mean, it was
a
painted white. It was very sophisticated.
We have painted white stools. Doesn't mean it's sophisticated.
It's even funnier because you have a copy of the Muppets.
Oh, I know.
So I could just see this frog staring at me. But yeah, that's it. Takes you away. So yeah, those were our threes, weren't they?
Yes, I think we're on two.
So top two. What's your second place?
Woman Who Found to Earth is my one. I feel just because it was a strong opening, all the characters were interesting. Grace's death took me by surprise because obviously we were expecting her to be a recurring character.
Yeah.
Like, and we didn't expect her to die. And she is a recurring character, but she's not in
but she
what
died
you think.
in the first appearance. Yeah.
So I think that's what shocked me the most out of this.
Yeah.
Basically what you said, except mine's higher. I enjoyed Jodie's performance in this. I think it's the only episode where we've really seen most of her as a Doctor, where she's had the most screen time.
She looks really cool in comparative outfit as well.
Yes. In hindsight, the train memes that have come out with it, obviously with Christopher Eccleston on the train and stuff, I've seen a couple of memes about them, and that's made the episode a little bit better.
Just because it's a meme now.
Yeah.
That's fair.
I think the introduction of the villains is cool. Salad Man's in it.
Yep.
I think this is the villain where you actually feel they're a villain, because he just kills people just because they're in his way. He won't be like, he won't reason with them or monologue until the last episode. He'll just get rid of them instead of monologuing with them. But yeah, I think that's probably what's there, just because of the performances, the introduction, and the anticipation I think that it built.
Yeah.
So it sort of set up everything. And whether it carried through or not, it's up for debate.
It's up to you.
That's my number two.
Yeah. Number two for me is The Witchfinders. And honestly, this was so close to being number one, because I have so much love for this episode. I can't tell you. I loved it from start to finish. So you said it took you a while to get into it, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. Up until literally when James first came in, I think that's when I was on board.
Yeah. But even before then, I was kind of like invested in that, because I like the whole kind of witch trial idea and stuff. The main selling point is obviously Alan Cumming as James I, because I think that's one of the best guest performances I can remember Doctor Who having, because he just owned it, and he was unapologetically camp. And it just really worked with the tone of the episode. There was a consistency there that I really enjoyed. We kind of had an evil alien villain, which I kind of, at that point in the series, had really been craving.
Yeah.
So I was well fed with that, even if, you know, it didn't look entirely convincing with the pulsating forehead. There was kind of ridiculousness there, but honestly, it was just so much fun, and I loved the scene with the Doctor tied up talking to James. I thought that was a really nice scene. Graham in that hat, iconic. Everyone kind of had a little moment to shine. I liked the mystery running through it, and yeah, it was just an absolute ball. Honestly, I think that's the most fun I've had watching an episode.
I think another issue with it was the Doctor's, we shouldn't be involved, and then gets involved straight away.
Yeah.
I'm fine with I'm fine with her getting involved. Just don't say let's not get involved and then get involved.
Yeah.
I feel that's it's a bit too flimsy.
Yeah.
To say let's not get involved and then just go for it. If they're like, if she doesn't say it and then she's like something's wrong here and then goes for it, because she has no reason to suspect something's wrong.
Yeah.
So I'm sure at every witch trial there was someone going, no, she's innocent, and then.
Yeah.
So what's to say that this was any different to it? Like, obviously they're all innocent because witches aren't real. I'm gonna die.
Oh, are they?
I'm gonna die tonight. Yeah. So I don't know what made her think that there was something different about this one.
Yeah.
But thank God she did, because there was.
Yeah.
But yeah, other than that and the plot being summed up pretty quick, that's why it's number 3 on my list. Like,
yeah.
It's not so far behind you.
It's only one behind my place.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, so that only needs one episode each. Can you guess what they are? It should be pretty easy. Yeah, so your number 1, is it Kablam?
Yeah, I did say that I went with my gut. Number 1 for me is Kablam, and I've literally written down my fave just because of how sci-fi it is, and it's my favourite type of episode.
Yeah.
Everything's normal but different.
Yeah.
Which, like you pointed out with the bubble wrap, it's something normal, but it was turned against it.
Sci-fi, yeah.
It's delivery packaging, and it's deliveries and Amazon and stuff. It's something normal but different. Lee Mack for me was great in it. I think he was one of the best guest cast members we've had. Even though he wasn't in it for very long. This was another one that actually shocked me when they killed the girl.
Oh yeah.
I genuinely didn't think they'd do that.
I was actually really sad.
And I was surprised at who the villain reveal was. I think this was the only episode where I've been like, it was him. Yeah. Which I don't think I've had from Doctor Who for a while. I just think I had a lot of fun with this one, and it is literally, I think, if I look at the whole series, I'm going to be like, and I can only pick one to watch, I'm like, I want to watch Kablam. Yeah. Just because of how... That's fair. Or Kablam, because it has an exclamation mark on the end.
That's quite a difference with us two, rating that. Yes. It's kind of similar to It Takes You Away.
Yeah.
Kind of swapped it around with those two, really.
But I just think...
It's the most Doctor Who episode of
it is.
Season 11.
I do, honestly, I did, in however term you want to think of Doctor Who as being Doctor Who, but for me it's silly sci-fi.
This is so radically different to like the past two kind of showrunners.
Consistently silly sci-fi.
This is the most kind of hark back to those eras, I think.
Yes, and I think, because like, I'm fine with silly sci-fi if the whole episode makes sense with silly sci-fi, which is why it doesn't work with Pating and why it doesn't work with the Frog. Whereas this one, it embraces the fact that it's funny looking robots. It embraces the fact that you have a comedian guest star, which Doc Brown was a comedian, but he wasn't really used in that sense. And I just think I enjoyed it, and I could see any Doctor in that episode, I think. Yeah. Compared to the other ones where I think I could only see Jodie in the role. Yeah. Whether that's good or bad, that's what I think.
That's a good point. So yeah, number 1 for me is Rosa. Mainly because you weren't here, so I really enjoyed it. And I got Domino's right after the episode aired, so I just have some really fond memories of that day. God, that was good. But yeah, obviously the impact I think it had, not just on me, reading all the comments and stuff afterwards on like online and stuff, and the reaction to this episode, I was like, oh wow, kind of Doctor Who's kind of back on top, and that just kind of filled me with joy.
Even though they're now going to go away for a year and then lose all that.
Shh, doesn't matter. But yeah, I thought guest performances were great. The actress who played Rosa was brilliant.
Second stint in Doctor Who.
Her second stint, she was in 42, yeah. When was that? That was 11 years ago.
2000, it was series 3.
2007, 11 years. That's disgusting. But yeah, what they kind of talk about, like the racism and everything, the story with her, how it was more protecting history, not that they influenced Rosa to make the decision to.
Which is what a lot of people were worried about.
Which is my big worry going into, and I said that at the start of the reaction. I was really scared that they were going to kind of take that choice away from her and kind of influence her to do it herself, but they didn't. I love that. You know how it spoke to kind of Ryan and Yaz. They were exploring with like the where they could sit on the bus, because even Yasmin was like not sure where she would sit, and they had like nice conversation, hiding behind the bin. And see that final scene kind of. I don't normally like pop songs or whatever being used in Doctor Who, but I felt that worked really well. I know a lot of people don't agree with me on that, but I think that worked quite well. I think that was a really impactful final scene.
I don't think there's been an instance where a pop song has been used in Doctor Who that I haven't liked.
Oh really?
If I think about it, the one that sticks out for me, there's two. Sound of Drums and Last of the Time Lords.
Oh yeah.
Those two work really well for what they're trying to achieve. I can't think what else has been since then. There's been backing things and things playing over montages.
Stormzy.
But I mean, even so, I don't think that's the worst thing.
No.
But I don't think there's been, and that's not even a pop song. So.
Yeah. Even Toxic worked in The End of the World.
Yeah. So I don't think I've ever had an issue with pop music being used in Doctor Who. I don't know why people do.
Yeah. I don't know why. It just doesn't.
It's used in every other show, no matter what it is.
I think it's supposed to be like so sci-fi weird to ground it with human music. I guess that's why.
Maybe. It makes. Yeah. I suppose maybe because in those episodes it's used by the characters, whereas this one was part of the score.
Yeah. But maybe. That final scene for me was so hard hitting when Graham was like, "I don't want to be a part of this." Like,
especially given him and Grace.
Yeah, and I loved that final montage when they actually showed the real Rosa Parks in the TARDIS. Getting her like award and stuff, and the asteroid named Rosa Parks, which is a real thing. I love that. The villain, I think, he wasn't supposed to be like the focus of the episode, so I don't really mind that he wasn't like particularly like the best written villain ever. I kind of like what he was representing.
I think the actor did well with the role. I think he really owned the role himself. He didn't just, because it's easy to come in there and be like, "Oh, I'm a racist. Okay, I'm going to play this up big." He was a subtle racist. Yeah. If there's such a thing.
Yeah, and I like how they really just kind of went with the whole racism thing and really showed just how awful that time was. But also there were moments of like levity in there, like the whole Banksy jokes, which for me really worked.
Graham and the Doctor being married.
Graham and Doctor being married and stuff.
That's what I mean, is things like that can work. Like there can be light-hearted moments in serious episodes, it's just when it goes too far. Yeah. And this one I think did really well on the line of that. They didn't, at no point did they think, let's throw in something completely ridiculous and make it like this is a family show. Yeah. Whereas with the other ones, it did.
Yeah, I think it's far and away one of my favourite historicals I think the show's ever done. And I just think it's an amazing kind of piece of television from start to finish. What it explores, even if it doesn't necessarily feel like Doctor Who, in this just like, this is what the time was like, this could be like a living documentary or whatever, but then what they do with it, them all having to be part of that history on the bus and having to stay there and watch that unfold, I think it was such an emotional thing, and I love it when Doctor Who highlights these people that a lot of people don't really know about, because I didn't know an awful lot about Rosa Parks before this episode.
I didn't know a lot about Charles Dickens, but Them Quiet Dead really showed me a thing.
So yeah, I think it's just a really important episode. I think it came at a really good time. And yeah, I'm in awe of what they did with it.
So how could, if you were to look at this, would it be one that you could keep rewatching though? Same with, that's why I put it quite low on my list, is that I don't think I could rewatch, like say, I think with the top three I could probably watch Today and Tomorrow.
Yeah.
But I don't think I could watch Rosa Today and Tomorrow.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It's like, for me it's like Infinity War. I couldn't watch that once a week.
I watched that again last night.
Once a day.
I haven't seen it for like a month.
But you can't deny it's fucking great.
Yeah.
I feel like that's how I feel. I don't always judge episodes on like how often I could rewatch them.
Yeah.
But that's just a personal thing for me, so I think that's why.
I think I'm more a case of I do judge on rewatchability. Not that it's the only thing I think about.
Yeah.
But there are certain films where, and it comes with TV shows and episodes, where I'll buy the film but I won't watch it for months.
Yeah.
Just because I don't have the need to keep rewatching it, but there are some films where I'd buy it, like the Lego Movie, where I'll watch it at least like twice a month.
You love that bloody film.
It's so good. That or Shrek.
Not Shrek.
Shrek 2.
Shrek 2, the best
Only
Shrek
Shrek
film.
2.
So yeah, that's kind of our
Kablam and Rosa.
Kablam and Rosa. Two very different episodes
Infinity
for our
War,
top.
Shrek 2.
The Santa Claus 3, the Escape Clause, was the best in the trilogy.
We did this once. We went through trilogies to see if Liam actually liked a third film in any trilogy. Only the Santa Claus.
Only the Santa Claus 3 is the only
Santa
one I can
Claus
think
3
of.
is the only one. Didn't like Thor 3, didn't like Iron Man 3, didn't like, well, Captain America 3, if we're counting that. But I think you even said you like Winter Soldier better than Civil War.
I do. Civil War was great. I mean, once you get past the first hour.
Avengers 3 I think might be the only exception to this rule now, which is Infinity War.
That's true. I would put that above the other two.
There's a video you can do.
There you go.
Top trilogies.
I'm going to get so much hate for hating Ragnarok. I can't believe you've said that. It's just too much, okay? It's okay.
Find him on Twitter, you'll see all his secrets.
Don't at me. But yeah, I was going to go through like each episode individually after that, but I feel like we've covered everything we need to say about those episodes.
Yeah, if we think of something, we can throw it in.
So I thought we would just talk about the new aspects of what Series 11 brought. We did kind of touch on some of them in our reaction to the last episode, so we don't really need to go above them into detail. But I have a list, and I think the main new thing this series brought was a new Doctor and the first female Doctor. So yeah, very briefly, what did you think of her, if they didn't watch our reaction?
Yeah, as I say, I said it yesterday, but I think for a first series, for a debut, for a pressure that she was under, she's done really well.
Yep.
I think there's even more pressure on her now, not necessarily because of her gender, but because of she started so well, she needs to maintain it.
Yeah, now she's been established.
And she needs to get...
Where can they go next with her?
Yeah, she needs to get, not necessarily her acting and herself, the writing for her needs to get better, and she needs more screen time, I think. Yeah.
More screen time, yeah.
That's the only complaint I have with her, is more screen time.
That's exactly how I feel, really. But I think she's just been phenomenal.
Like, I think she gets the most screen time in Woman Who Fell to Earth.
Yeah, and even then she's not even in like the first 50 minutes.
No, she has a bit in It Takes You Away at the end. She has a solid 5 minutes, but it's just her. Even in The Witchfinder she has a scene.
It's definitely more of an ensemble feel.
Yeah.
Which is fair enough. I'm sure that works really well for some people. But I just want a bit more.
Yeah.
But yeah, overall, I love 13 and I love Jodie's performance. I think she's brilliant. So another new thing, the companions.
Yes.
Would you rank them Graham, Ryan, Yaz? Or would you swap that around? That's how I rank them.
100% Graham is top.
Yeah.
It depends
you
on
had a lot of trouble with Ryan early on, didn't you?
Yes.
I treated Graham,
yes.
whereas I never really had that.
It depends on the episode, I think.
Yeah.
Closer towards the end of the series, I'm 100% Ryan's better than Yaz, but towards the start, Yaz is better than Ryan.
Yeah.
Especially in Woman Who Fell to Earth and the Ghost Monument and Arachnids and Punjab and somewhat Rosa, better than Ryan. But following that, like Witchfinders, he and Kablam, he's better than her, because I don't know whether that's because he gets more to do, more screen time, better writing, but it's evenly split, so I think it depends what the episode is.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't say I prefer one over the other.
Yeah.
If one of them was to leave, I wouldn't mind who.
Right, okay.
If I was to think of it like that.
Yeah. Whereas I would be sad if anyone but Yaz left at this point. Because I like Yaz, she's just so underwritten and they haven't given her anything.
Yeah.
Really.
The only way Ryan can leave is if...
I feel like I know Yaz's mum better than Yaz. And she was in like
she had a job that she got fired from in the first 2 minutes.
Yeah. I still feel like that's more than we got about Yaz. She's a police
officer, and we had her police friend who phoned her, and then we don't know who that is now. He's gone. Bye.
Yeah.
Bye, police friend.
But yeah, I think Graham is a cinnamon roll. He must be protected at all costs. He's like a Wilf 2.0, but his own character in his own right.
I think
Bradley Walsh has kind of been the standout for Series 11 for me.
I don't know how long he can go on because
I'd be surprised if he lasts another whole series.
I'd expect him to last most of next series because they'll have a whole year.
I think he'll leave at the end of Series 12.
But I think it depends how that
most companions
series
don't
ends.
do like one series anyway.
It depends how that ends because it could be that they change the Doctor and they change everything at the end of Series 12. But I think the only way he'll leave is if I can't see him stepping away from the TARDIS because he made the conscious decision in the last episode to not shoot Tim Shaw.
Yeah.
So therefore, he doesn't have a reason to leave.
Yeah.
Unless Ryan dies or something, and then
God,
but then I still don't think Ryan wouldn't want him to stop travelling because of him.
Yeah.
However, I do think the only way Ryan would leave is if Graham dies. I think that would be it for Ryan.
Yeah.
I think he'd go as well. But
He'd have nothing left.
But I mean, I could be wrong. They could all go. None of them could go. They could all.
That's true.
We haven't really had a companion that's left the Team TARDIS and had a good life after that.
Yeah.
Except maybe Martha. Martha and Mickey
Martha
are probably
and
the
Mickey.
only ones that have
Bless
had a
them.
good ending.
Yeah.
Rose was trapped on a parallel world. Donna had her mind wiped. Captain Jack somewhere in space, depressed.
I suppose Amy and Rory got to live happily in the end.
Yeah,
But they were out of...
They still got
they
kicked
didn't
out
really
of time.
Yeah, they
Clara
didn't get to see their
was.
family again.
Clara was split into thousands of versions of herself and killed by a raven, but then not killed and is, I think, floating around.
One day she'll have to go back and die.
Bill's a Cyberman. Nardal's dead on a Cyberman spaceship, I think.
Yeah. I mean,
We've missed
Bill's a
one.
water woman now.
Yes. Yes. So I don't... None of them have had
Yeah, I
happy
can't imagine
endings.
how they'd leave yet.
Like, we haven't had a Sarah Jane, where they
No.
just go back to their normal life, even though
Yeah.
she came back.
Yeah.
So I don't know if we'll ever have that again, because we haven't really had a companion that lead. Martha left of her own accord.
Yeah.
Yes, but she didn't go back to her normal life, so to speak. She
No.
worked for UNIT and she still
Unit,
did aliens and she was a bit tortured.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I think for me, Graham and Ryan had a really good story out this year together.
Yeah.
I really connected with Ryan from the off, with him losing his nan at the start. I really connected with that emotionally, so I was invested in him right from the off. And then Bradley Walsh was just so good. I was like, I love Graham. So I really am hoping Yaz gets something like that.
maybe
even
with her sister.
Yeah, maybe she's going to blow me away in the New Year special, for all I know. I like her. I just not in quite the level of Graham and Ryan. Yet.
That's the thing. When they go back to Sheffield, I think that's when Yaz is used best because that's where her family is, whereas Ryan gets the most when they're not in Sheffield because his family's with him.
Yeah.
So he doesn't really have to go back to be established that his dad's a deadbeat dad.
But I think every single one of them has potential to be really good companions. So I think that's something.
Yes. Hopefully.
Yes. New TARDIS.
Yes.
I like it. Not in love with the design. I love the outside. I feel like we still need to see more of things.
Yeah, I'm not fussed about I'm never really fussed about the design of a TARDIS interior because I think what do you want it to look like? Exactly the same.
I'd love it if Smith's second console and Capaldi's main one never changed ever for the rest of the show.
Yeah.
Because I love that so much.
Yeah, well, like my favourite's always been Exton Tennant's
Yeah.
interior, but even then with those we saw extra rooms.
Yeah.
We haven't seen that since. I think we Journey into the Centre of TARDIS. Yeah, but we didn't even really. That's such a not TARDIS episode that it doesn't feel like that's in the TARDIS.
And then Doctor's Wife, we just saw corridors.
Yeah, but I think we need to see, and they have the potential to do this more from the TARDIS control room. We can't even see any stairs or doorways
Yeah.
lead to elsewhere, but we know there's a kitchen because Ryan makes sandwiches. Graham makes sandwiches,
Sandwiches, yeah.
and they get changed.
Yeah.
But I love the design. I like the custard cream.
I love the custard cream Spencer. I wish we'd seen that more.
It did have a lot to do in the last episode. They used some
They used it a bit,
weird
yeah.
tentacles that came out of it. But yeah, I think we haven't fully explored a TARDIS
No.
since 9-10.
I'm
Even
not.
though there may have been attempts to.
I'm not completely sold on it yet. We'll have to wait and see for that.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
I just love it when it looks more like an actual spaceship because I don't really like the idea of it being organic and stuff. I know it's grown, but
Yeah.
we never really got
I mean,
that
you don't
impression
like
in
the
classic.
the tree thing with
That was weird.
the egg
wasn't it?
things
That
that-
was so. I tried to forget that episode.
they
to be
try
honest.
and cut off with the android that's not an android, but the
Oh,
brothers
don't get
try
me
and
started
tell
on
him that
brothers.
he's an android.
Let's just skip over those. Yeah, but I love the outside of the TARDIS. I just need to see more of the inside, I think. But I don't hate it.
You know how you can see more of the inside? You can buy Doctor Who's cross sections book that lets you see the whole of the TARDIS.
Buy our merchandise.
Buy the merchandise.
Show it on the show.
Yeah.
Then, very briefly, I suppose, the new logo and titles and like the Time Vortex-y kind of thing.
Whether you like it or not, it's going nowhere.
Yeah.
That's all I have to say. I like it.
I really
don't-
like it.
My first, I wish they didn't put it on Classic Who merch. Because because they're putting it on all like the
The
Fifth
new
Doctor box
and
sets
stuff,
and everything. I wish they didn't do that, but I get that that's what they do. They do it with well, do they?
I think they're starting to now.
I don't know if they put 2005's logo on everything. The Classic Who.
They didn't. No, they had their own logo.
I don't think they did
They
the
used
same
Paul
with-
McGann's 1996 logo.
Yeah, so I
But
think
they've changed that now.
I think they have good classic logos they can use, and people will then know it's classic logos. But
Yeah.
maybe they're trying to trick people into thinking that it's new Doctor Who. Look, it's got the new
It's all the
logo
same
on it.
show,
So
we swear.
I don't mind it. I just wish they didn't use it with classic Who stuff.
Yeah, I really like the logo. I think maybe the vortex is a bit too dark. I felt I wish I'd had
I've only
more.
really
like,
seen it once.
Yeah, I mean like the main
Twice.
TARDIS stuff as well. Like
Oh, yeah.
I like a bit more like colour in there, but I don't mind it. And I like the idea of like the vortex splitting off into those
Yeah.
different
I mean,
things.
the title sequence will change next season.
Maybe, yeah.
They change every series ish, only
Yeah.
slightly, but
I love Jodie's face to be in it at some point. That'd be cool.
yeah.
But yeah, I quite like what they've done with it. The whole format of 50-minute episodes and the first one being an hour and being 10 episodes instead of 12.
It worked for some episodes, but it didn't with others.
It was very hit and miss, I think.
A couple of them needed to be two-parters.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, yeah, lack of two partners really.
it's the issue they had when Moffat tried it, with all standalone
Series 7.
episodes. Yeah, I think it needed a couple of two-parters in there.
Yeah.
Season 7 wasn't too bad because that's basically 2 series as you get in there, just
Yeah.
like half each.
I actually quite like Series 7.
Yeah, I think I like the first half more than the. I don't really know. I can't.
Yeah.
Series 7's good, but I think it worked better with that one because
The
it
next
was.
6 years.
Even so, that wasn't. They didn't really have single episodes. They had name, day, and time,
Yeah.
which although a single.
7B was all like Clara, the mystery of her
Yeah.
and stuff.
But I think for this series, it needed two-parters. I'm fine with it being 50 minutes. I think the finale could have been 60.
Yeah, I'm glad the first one was an hour.
Yeah, I think they maybe need to do 12 episodes instead of 10, but maybe it's a. Maybe they were like, look, to get the nice looking shots, you need to cut 2 episodes off.
Yeah, 'cause it is funny actually. The Witchfinders is shorter than a lot of the other New Who episodes from like previous series.
Right.
It's only like 43 minutes, and that's one of my favourites of the series. I think that's really funny.
See, that's
just
what
put
I mean.
that
I
on
think 50 minutes gives them. I say 50 minutes gives them time to give a good resolution, but we still get 10-minute
Yeah.
plot resolution.
Hopefully they've learned a lot from doing Series 11.
Yeah, it was a
Change.
risky venture and experimental in some aspects, and hopefully they know what works and know what doesn't work. And they
Yeah.
fix whatever doesn't.
Yeah.
But I'd like to see more episodes. Potentially, we can get 11
Yes.
with the special, which I think is an hour long as well.
Yeah. Yeah, it's an hour, 7 to 8 PM, I think. The lack of like, I put plot-driven story arc because I felt it's a character-driven story arc, but I felt it's not like a bad wolf or an impossible girl or that kind of thing.
I didn't miss it
I didn't miss it as much as I thought I would.
until the final episode.
No.
I think that was the big. I'm fine with standalone episodes. I don't need a big story arc to be like,
Yeah.
oh, look at this thing that's mentioned in this episode. But I think it let itself down with people having to remember back to episode 2.
Mm.
It's this guy when they haven't mentioned him for 7
Yeah.
episodes.
I have a ghost monument.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I'm fine with like whatever that is, but it's
Yeah.
it's difficult.
I liked what they tried with the character-driven kind of stories because that did work. They did have an arc,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, the
other
characters have
companions have
arcs.
had arcs as well as like a story arc. in
Yeah,
previous
I don't
series,
think
I
you have to sacrifice one or the other, especially when you're having 50-minute episodes.
Yeah,
Because you should have a lengthy time to do a 2-second
yeah.
bad wolf or torchwood.
I get they were trying to like not alienate
Yeah.
new viewers, I suppose. But now we've got these new viewers. Maybe
You
can
don't
try
need.
something.
I think they tried too much to make every episode a jumping on point for
Yeah.
new fans, whereas most people won't jump in on a drama series midway through. Like you wouldn't have started watching The Bodyguard midway through
No.
The Bodyguard.
Yeah.
And if they want Doctor Who to be taken as a serious drama, which they've clearly tried to do with marketing and time slots and the style of this
Yeah.
series, then they should expect people to go back, and you don't gain anything from
No.
not having a continual.
Episode 1
Plot.
should be jumping on point, and then every episode is unmissable after that.
Yeah, it's like that's how series 10 worked, where episode 1, the pilot was the jumping on point, and then if you jumped on, you're on for the ride.
Yeah,
And that's
one
how it should
thing
be.
I think structurally Series 10 is really good because we had the first 6 episodes was Who's in the Bowl, and then
Rest
as
of
soon
it
as we
was-
resolved that, we had that 3-part with the monks.
Yeah, exactly.
And then it's kind of, I mean, we had kind of a dip with Eaters of Light and Mr. Mars, if you will.
But that's where I
then
think
we had the finale, which was
that's where I think you take out 2 episodes, 10 episodes should be enough.
Yeah.
Because if you just take them out,
if you took out Mr. Mars and Eaters of Light, so
Yeah.
it's 10 would have been.
so yeah, I think they shouldn't treat every episode as a jumping on point, and there should be a.
Yeah.
That's the conclusion I'm coming to right at this moment.
Yeah, I love a good story arc, but there were things I think I missed more.
Yes, I think so.
Then the lack of any classic villains.
Um,
I am so eager for there to be Daleks in the New Year special.
If there's
and
not-
I'm so eager to see like new Cybermen or whatever. I think it's good that they gave them the break this series.
yeah, but that being said, I
But
don't think you need to give classic villains. You don't need to.
Or just revamp
lump them
ones you
all
haven't
in.
brought back before.
Yeah, like we haven't had any.
I really want the Sea Devils to come back because I love
That's
the
what
Sea
I was
Devils.
thinking of. Actually, I think what the ones in the water, not Zygons or
Yeah, 'cause it's-
Saurians. Sea Devils, like you
Yeah.
could bring them back because they're old enough for people not to know who they are. You
Yeah.
can even bring the Autons back to some extent because the last
Yeah.
they appeared in was season 5.
Yeah.
And so you could bring back classic villains without having to worry. This is what I mean is they tried to make every episode jumping on point and everything had to be new except for the last episode because you'd be completely
Internet
confused if
control,
that
yeah.
jumped on. And it's fine having new villains and stuff, but you still need to satisfy the fans that
Yeah.
have been with you since then. As then it kind of feels like they're being left to the side.
Yeah. I completely understand giving them all the break, but I feel like if they were going to do that, make every single villain really good.
Yeah.
I don't
'Cause,
think we had many standouts.
like, it's fine if you want to create new villains because you can create really good new villains. Like new Who villains we've had. You've had the Silence, the Weeping Angels, Gas Mask Zombies. You had the Bastion Narada.
Yeah.
You had these really good, solid new villains, but they haven't been. You haven't had to sacrifice classic villains to use them.
Mm-hmm.
You've had even in the same in Bastion Narada, you had the Daleks in that same series. And the Ood were back in that one, even though they're still New Who.
Yeah.
But you don't need to sacrifice more recognisable villains for the sake of new villains.
Yeah.
Which I think they did in this one.
Yes. And then final thing I thought of was the overall way they kind of promoted the series, like adverts and stuff.
Throughout the series, promoted really well. They didn't show
Yeah.
anything, they didn't spoil anything, they didn't
I love like
give away anything.
the small kind of teasers for the episodes.
Yeah, because it left you wanting to know more about it.
especially the one for New Year's Day. I'm like so
Yeah,
excited
exactly.
for that.
I don't know how they're going to work with New Year's Day because they're obviously going to put stuff out leading up to it to get people to watch.
Yeah.
As they do with everything for Christmas. But it would be a case of we don't watch much live TV on BBC as is. We watch The Apprentice every week
Yeah.
and Doctor Who, but so we don't know how strong their marketing is advert wise. But we follow them both on YouTube, and they only put out I think it's a 20-second trailer maybe, and then the 10-second trailer that was after the episode.
Yeah.
And so that works really well. However, leading up to the series,
That's why I think they
it
followed.
needed more because you get to 2 weeks before, just before 2 weeks before release, and people are going,
Yeah.
"Are you going to give us a trailer? Are you going to show what you want?" I know it's not a film,
Yeah.
where film trailers can come out up to a year before it's out, but like you'd have, it used to be you'd have the Christmas special, and you'd have a coming soon,
Coming soon.
and it would be a quick trailer for what was coming in the summer. And I get this one was a bit later, but they did have footage to show people because that's how they sold Doctor Who to overseas markets. So they must have had footage to show, and it's show it at cons as well. But I just think this is the BBC. I don't know what they think they do with the marketing. I don't know who's in charge of it.
Yeah.
They didn't do well last season with John Sim, which
Yeah.
I'll forever be salty about. The peak marketing for Doctor Who, I think, is Series 1 with Eccleston.
Yes.
Because you have the
Do you
iconic, the iconic running through the tunnel with fire behind him and him running around the console. And then
Yes.
even when it was leading up to the finale, it would be like 5 days to go, and it would be the Daleks flying towards it, and it'd be keep going countdown for that, and it builds the hype. Whereas I don't
Yeah,
think,
Series 1 is the best.
if you get a chance,
campaign.
just Google Doctor Who Series 1 trailers and then just watch a load of them
They're really good.
because they're so good.
They're specially filmed as well.
Especially like Series 2 and 3, even those ones are pretty good. And
Yeah.
I think that stopped with Series 5.
Series 5 was the last time I think they had a really good campaign because they had that thing with Amy and the Doctor like lying on the ground.
On the ground, and like, yeah, and I think that's the last time they properly tried to make their own
No,
unique
since then
marketing
it's
for it.
been just standard stuff. I think.
But I don't think we're going to get anything new out of that. despite there being a younger team
Yeah.
behind.
They were so reluctant to show us anything, and then suddenly there's a trailer. I'm like, oh, I've made plans for 2 weeks on Sunday.
Yeah,
I've got
exactly.
a party. And
I
I'm
know
not gonna
it's
cancel it
I
now.
know it's always BBC's. What's the word? It's always the thing they do. They'll always have a show coming out, and you'll know it's coming out on a certain day, but they'll only show a trailer 2 weeks before on their channel.
Yeah.
Like literally 2
They're
weeks
always
before.
so late with that actual date. They always put coming soon. For ages.
Yeah, I'm fine. They probably don't mind it as much because iPlayer exists, but I just think they should have shown more. We didn't have anything between Jodie reveal, which they didn't even make a big deal of this year. They were huge with Capaldi, his own show,
He had his
and
own like half-an-hour thing.
which
didn't he?
I don't think was warranted. If they're only going to do it for him, I don't get it.
Yeah.
Because it went from Matt Smith being announced in a news article to big Peter Capaldi show to Jodie Whittaker
Matt
being
Smith did
announced.
like a
in-
Doctor Who Confidential thing.
That kind of makes sense, but Confidential doesn't exist anymore,
No. rest in peace.
which I think needs to come back. But Jodie had a quick Wimbledon. Oh, it's the woman. There's the
Yeah,
TARDIS, which is a stock footage of the TARDIS from 2005. I don't know.
Well.
Between Wimbledon and getting a proper trailer was too long.
Yeah.
And they need to sort it out, but I don't know if they will.
Yeah.
I've lost respect for the BBC, to be fair.
Wow. Well, they've lost respect for you.
So I've never had it.
Fair enough. Yeah, so I think that's kind of everything newish about this series kind of talked about. So finally, I'm very cautious about time. I'm absolutely going to have to change this SD card. I know
That's
it.
what I was thinking.
I don't even want to check how far we've gone. I mean, we've gone down one battery bar on the camera. So.
No.
Good God. But yeah, I thought we'd talk about. Well, for me, I've got 5 things I like, 5 things to improve in that series.
I do have 5 things that I like, so we'll start with the
I did
likes.
order them, but I don't know if you have.
I can do them in my head.
If you can, if your brain can handle it.
Okay, so I'll go with my. Have I got 5 or 4? I've got 4, so you can do a 5.
Okay. 5 things I like. 5th for me, the music.
That was my number 4.
Whoa! I just love how kind of fresh it was. I loved fresh, funky, fresh and hip. Damn the kids. When the new theme kicked in when she fell through the roof. Boom.
I was on the toilet and I was thinking, did she actually have a theme? That's what everyone does most of their thinking. It's either the toilet or the shower, isn't it?
You could have just said I was doing some thinking. Sorry about that. Carry on.
I was on the toilet doing some thinking. And I couldn't really think of her theme. It took me a while to think of her theme. I don't know whether that's
Yeah.
because it wasn't... I think it wasn't played as much because she wasn't used as much.
Yeah.
Which... It took me a really long time to think about when it was used. And I could only remember her bass popping up in the first episode and it being used.
Yeah.
Other than that, I can't really pinpoint a moment. If that's bad, well, that just might be because I can't remember it. But that leads me on to saying it didn't barge in with the music.
Yeah.
Like with Murray Gold recently, you'd know it's there. You'd know the music's there. Whereas this one was very understated and
I think
in the background.
that's the thing for me. I think a lot of people complained this year she didn't have any, like Jodie didn't have any big speeches. But
She had smaller speeches.
someone online made a really good point that you knew there was a big speech because of Murray Gold's like over the top, like blazing music. Like this is an epic speech. If you put one of Murray Gold's tracks behind one of the Jodie speeches, I feel like you'd think it's like this big epic thing. And I think it's just because the music's different this year. But I really like the subtle approach. Is it Segun? Is that his name? Segun Akinola, I think.
Well, whilst you'd maybe change the SD card, I'll Google it.
Oh God!
3-minute warning!
Oh no, this is horrendous. We'll be right back, kiddos. I don't know why I called you kiddos.
Doctor Who. Oh, we're back. 5 minutes recording.
We're back.
Segun
Akinola.
Akinola. He's the OST maker for this one.
And they're releasing like an official soundtrack, aren't they?
Yes, even though
We don't
they
even have
haven't got
Series 10
Series 10. It took them
Took them like
3
3 years
years
to
to
do
do Series 9.
But oh well.
Yeah, I think when it comes to music, I lost faith in Murray Gold with the 50th.
So we didn't really have much new stuff for the 50th.
That was the issue I had, was a lot of it was reused and nothing was really new.
Yeah.
And for the 50th special, the 50th anniversary, I was expecting a really nice... There are some moments in the score where it gets my blood pumping,
I really like the theme at the end of the 50th special.
Yeah, and I like the moment that gets me is when they all step through the painting, when the painting blows up. That's really good, but that is still music that's already existed in Doctor Who. Whereas this one's all brand new, there's nothing reused, which I think is good. And whether they do return to reusing some music when it comes to maybe the Daleks.
Yeah.
Because it's always been put in with the orchestral operatic music with Murray Gold. I don't know whether they'll go back to that. So it'll be weird to see them without.
Yeah.
But I think this music was great, but again, Murray Gold started with subtle music.
Yeah.
So it could get louder as it goes on, depending on how long he stays with the show.
Yeah.
But overall, I like it.
So that was your number 4.
That was my number 4, yeah.
2 birds, 1 stone. 4 for me, since I had 5. The cinematography.
Yeah, I did put looked really nice.
Yeah, basically that's what I put originally.
I've put that top for my one. Because I honestly think this has been one of the best looking...
I think this is the best Doctor Who's ever looked.
Yeah, it has.
The location work has been amazing.
Not been really dodgy CGI either.
Yeah, and I mentioned earlier that shot in Demons of the Punjab and all those things brings up. There's been some beautiful shots this series. Yeah. The location's been brilliant.
Even Ghost Monument, some of the shots have been spectacular.
And all the camera work I think has been kind of stellar.
The only one that maybe hasn't been was Saranga.
Yeah, maybe.
Oh, just because that's been corridors.
Yeah.
So you can't really do much with that one.
Yeah, and you can't really do a lot with just going back to Sheffield.
No.
We had a few episodes.
But even so, going back to Sheffield, they still managed to make it look nice.
I still remember when we first started, like how good that looked. I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
This is what movies look like. It's nice having Doctor Who look that nice. So yeah, that was kind of just the general point I had. It looked really nice.
Yeah, I've put that top just because I think it's been a while since we've had the show look that nice.
Yeah, I think it's because I lean towards character stuff. That's why
the
top of my thing. Yeah. But 3 for me is historical stories. I think Series 11's probably had the best track record for those because we had Rosa, we had Witchfinders, we had Demons of the Punjab. I think those are the 3 main historically ones, and I loved all 3 of those. That's just something I noticed, and I just thought they've been done brilliantly, and if they continue that kind of approach to historicals, I wouldn't be mad.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm sure they'll have noticed that the historical episodes have been rated higher than the other ones, but I don't know if they're going to clock that's because they were made better or not, because for me I've enjoyed the sci-fi in this, but the sci-fi when it's been proper sci-fi, not just...
Yeah.
And it's made sense.
Like Toby Fogg, proper sci-fi.
But I'd take that as proper sci-fi if the whole episode was
and that writer's coming back for Series 12 apparently.
Yeah, well he's an inexperienced writer apparently, so he's not done much. But I'll point to Kablam again, like I really enjoyed that, and that's the kind of sci-fi that I come to this for.
Yeah.
It just reminds me of like solid sci-fi, like Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy sort of thing.
Yeah, I wouldn't want it to be, historical story central like next year.
No.
I feel like 3 out of 10 episodes is probably the right amount, if not maybe just 2. Yeah. But yeah.
Because we've had a couple of historicals previously with Charles Dickens, Shakespeare, and Agatha Christie. They're not.
I've never really noticed before how much I've enjoyed those kind of episodes.
Yeah.
So my top 2 for Series 11 are both like historical stories.
Yeah, but you don't. With those previous ones, you don't think of them as historical because they're more sci-fi.
Yeah.
The Giant Wasp, the Gelf, and
Witches.
So I mean, I can get on board with historicals, but I think there needs to be maybe a little bit more sci-fi to them.
Yeah.
Depending on who the centre of the historical is.
Yeah.
Because like it makes sense with Agatha Christie because she's a mystery writer and she's written about a wasp. It makes sense with Charles Dickens because he writes about ghosts. It makes sense with Shakespeare because he writes about witches. So they sort of make sense.
Yeah.
So if it makes sense in the historical accuracy, I'm fine with as much sci-fi as they want to throw in.
Yeah.
But if it doesn't make sense, like with Rosa, it doesn't really make sense to have a sci-fi monster in it.
Yeah.
It makes sense to have the racist normal guy in there.
Is there any historical figure that you'd want them to visit? Is there anything that jump out? I'd love them to see. I don't know what they do with it, but I'd like a Florence Nightingale episode.
Yeah,
I think that'd be interesting.
They can have a good scary one with Florence Nightingale. I feel. I've never really given it much thought, to be honest.
My big one, even when the show started, I'd love them to do Shakespeare. Yeah, to that pretty.
That's it. I think they've done a lot of actual historical ones.
And they've normally lent towards like British ones as well, which
Yeah.
is kind of
They
moved away
did
from
Nixon,
the
technically. They had him in the
Yeah,
episode.
yeah.
I wouldn't mind JFK, but I don't know how they'd handle that.
Yeah.
Because that would very much have to be a Rosa.
That would be interesting. Cause it's
They
like
could do a
the day before
similar.
Dr.
They
Stark as well.
can't they can't stop JFK's assassination. It's similar to the show 11/22/63.
Oh yeah, you
Which is
told me
a
about this.
Stephen King book with James Franco in the TV show where he's sent back to stop the assassination. I won't spoil it, but I think they could do similar to Rosa where they have to let the assassination continue because that's how things work.
Yeah, keep
So
it
they
in
could.
place.
So I think that's something similar. Whether they'll want to do that because that's a lot more graphic than Rosa is.
Yeah.
Although it's still just as hard hitting with what happened, I just think it's a bit more whether they'll want that for a family show. But if they did Rosa, I can't see why they wouldn't want to do it.
Yeah.
But I think that would be my one wish if I had a historical would be JFK. Doesn't even have to be an assassination. They could do anything, moon landings and stuff.
Mhm.
Well, him sorting out moon landings because he started it, but
Yeah.
that's my only historical figure I'd love.
Yes. So yeah, that's 3 for me. Number 2, have you got anything else?
I'm gonna go with great casting / acting from the main cast.
From the main cast.
From the
This is
main
kind of-
cast.
This is kind of my first and second point, so I kind of split them up.
Yes, I have this. I have similar for.
Yeah, because my number 2 is the Doctor.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, I put casting across the board for the main acting is actually pretty good. The Doctor's cast really well. Her companions are cast really well, depending on how screen time they get.
Mhm.
Grace was cast really well.
I really like
Even
Grace.
the people that
She was wholesome.
die are cast surprisingly well.
Yeah.
If you think of the granddad in the first episode that dies, who's the crane operator.
Oh, I forgot about that
If
guy.
you think of the girl in Kablam who dies, she's cast really well.
Yeah.
If you think of the Witchfinder's girl,
Mhm.
and obviously Jim's first, but that's not necessarily main.
Witchcraft.
But that brings me on to my other thing is guest stars. I think we've had really solid guest
Yes.
acting.
Yes.
Big name guest actors come in and do well.
Yeah.
I
Chibnall
mean,
has connections.
he does. I mean, he's had. Well, I don't know how he'd know most of them.
Broadchurch.
It must be. I don't know. But yeah, I think one of my main top points is guest stars
Yeah.
coming in. There are a few like Dims of the Punjab and Saranga where they're not necessarily the best.
Yeah.
But I'm not necessarily thinking Doc Brown for Saranga. I'm thinking of Dead Captain.
Mm.
Because Doc Brown, even in that, I wish we had more of him because what we got was good.
I really liked his performance, yeah.
Same with Lee Mack. What we got was good. Alan. What we have with most guests has been pretty solid. Even with Mark Addy, despite him only being in there to further the plot,
Yeah.
he was really good.
He did well with what
Salad
he was
Man was really
doing. Salad Man. The best.
best
actor.
guest star. I think it's done really well, and we thought it weird at the end of the first episode where they showed the montage of guest actors.
Yeah.
Like, why? Just show us some clips from the episodes. Don't show us who's going to.
Yeah.
It felt like they were bragging.
Yeah.
But watching most of the performances, I can see why.
Yeah,
Why they're bragging? Because
I really
it
like
makes
kind
sense.
of like ticking them off the list as the
Yeah,
episode.
exactly.
Like, oh, this guy
We got to
starts
the
a bit
point
in it, yeah.
when I'd completely forgotten about Mark Addy, and then we saw the trailer. I was like, oh yeah, he's in
he's
it.
in this.
But I don't know whether that's BBC just trying not to let anything leak. So it's like, hey, here's all these
Yeah.
guys that are going to be in there.
This is everyone ever going to be in the show.
And they were used really well, which is unlike Ian McKellen in The Snowman.
Oh yeah.
Don't forget, Ian McKellen's been in Doctor Who, and
As a
so is
voice.
Richard D. Grant. Both in the same episode,
Yeah.
but one's a voice that some sentience. No, that's what I mean. They did guest stars really well compared to what they have done previously.
Yeah. I don't know how it worked with Ian McKellen. Maybe he just could only do a voice and that was it. I don't know. But I'd love him to be in it like physically one day. That'd be cool.
There's so many guest stars.
But yeah, going back to my number 2 with the Doctor, Jodie's been great this season. I've loved what she's brought to it. Yeah, we just need a bit more of her, I think, and maybe see a bit more of the dark
Yeah,
side.
I would love to see a companion light episode.
Yeah.
Just a pure Doctor episode. Because I think that would then...
I'd love to see what her Heaven Sent would be like.
Yes. Just because I think we need that with her, because a lot of people, including myself, don't know what type of Doctor she is yet.
Yeah.
Not that that's her fault. I think that might... for all we know, there might be loads of deleted scenes of her Doctor, but they just chose not to put them in.
Yeah.
Kind of like Jared Leto in Suicide Squad, where he had loads of scenes that just weren't put in. But I think we just need... It can be like the first... Like, it can literally be, this New Year's, we're staying here for a year, you go off and do your travels. And then the first episode in 2020 is her, an episode by herself, and then she comes back to get them at the end of that one.
Yeah.
Then you could have the first episode be New Year's Day 2020.
Yeah.
And then they could pick her up again. But I just think we need an episode where it's just her so we can see her.
Yeah.
Rather than her surrounded by people.
Yeah. And then my number one was Graham and Ryan. Nothing against Yaz, I like her, but it's more of the story arc that they gave Graham and Ryan this season, I think, really excelled. Because I love a good character arc. That's why Buffy's so good. Watch Buffy. Plug. Watch my reactions to Buffy.
I watch Buffy.
You really? Oh, it's so bloody good.
I'll watch Buffy when you watch Stargate Atlantis.
Oh, right! I'll get round to it. You're going to get people asking me to do it now. Can't believe you've done this. But yeah, I just loved how the characters played off each other, how they've both grown, particularly their performances, like Bradley Walsh just.
Yeah.
But yeah, I felt an emotional connection to them right from episode 1, and that hasn't faded. So yeah, I loved what they did with their arc, and hopefully they can do that with Yaz next season. But yeah, that's kind of my big takeaway, what they did with... I'm getting hungry now, so takeaway.
Shock.
Yeah. I just love what they did with Graham and Ryan this season. That's one of my big takeaways.
I think we were worried when it came to this episode, last episode, that what else could they do? Because they sort of had the granddad moment in episode 9, and we were like, well, that's their arc resolved, surely. But there was obviously that little bit more they could push.
Yeah.
With the...
Which they can only do by bringing
the
back Tim
I
Shaw.
love you and stuff.
Yeah.
And yeah, it makes sense. The only downside to Graham's character I found was that he, all of a sudden, as much as I understood why he'd want to do it, he all of a sudden wanted to kill Tim Shaw. I get why he wanted to do it, but I just think he knows, and Ryan knew, that's not what Grace would want.
Yeah.
Even though he's trying to justify it to himself, that's what she would want.
Which is interesting given how he knew fake Grace was fake Grace in the last episode.
So I think, but again, this is why I think if you put these three together, you don't have that issue. Because it's still fresh with Graham that Grace has just died and just been killed by him. And then we finally have the granddad stuff and everything.
Yeah.
But
yeah, those are 5 things I liked. I was just going to do 5 improvements, but I thought we need to be a bit more positive than that. Because overall, I think we both really liked Series 11.
Yeah, I think we've touched on most of my bad/improvement.
Okay.
I did poor writing from time to time, which I think is more a case of the frog and the Pating. Weird monster choices/designs. Again, the Pating and the frog. I put improvements screen time/Yaz.
Yeah.
So I think screen time, Yaz and the Doctor, if we were to think about it more. Not that the Doctor doesn't get enough, but as the title character, she needs more.
Yeah.
Because I get they want it to be ensemble, but it's not called TARDIS or Team TARDIS.
Yeah.
It's called Doctor Who. So she should be the top one, and then everyone else gets their moments throughout the episode, but it should be based on her.
Yeah.
But kind of like a torch, because this is more what I think is, this series has been Torchwood, in the case of it's been a team doing something.
Ensemble, yeah.
Compared to Doctor Who, where it's the Doctor going and doing something and the companions tagging along.
Yeah.
And I think that's where they need to figure out what they want the most. Whether they want it to be a more group effort or whether they actually want it to be. So they were trying to do both, I think, in this. And I'd rather it be the Doctor with her friends that tags along.
Yeah.
Not to say that they're not important and that they can't affect the plot or anything. They can have their moments, but I just think the Doctor needs to do more.
Yeah.
I went with plot resolutions as well.
Yeah.
Just because you have the added 5 minutes, it should mean that there's better plot resolutions other than, hey, this tree's actually the tree that was the key that had the prison in. Let's go and burn the tree to lock them back. So I just think some plot stuff needs to be thought of, and whether that's writing, and whether they've had the new writers in and they haven't really figured out how to write the show, whether they cut scenes because of length or whatever. Yeah. Which again could help with 2-parters.
Yeah.
I think that's one of my improvements, and then the other one was BBC improvement in general.
Oh boy.
Just because I just don't think they handle the show very well. I don't think they realised that they could have an actual good sci-fi show there. I don't think they're leaning towards sci-fi anymore. I think they're going towards more drama.
Yeah.
I don't know how that's going to affect the show going forward, but I think if they see the good viewing figures for this, they're just going to assume, great, we did it right.
We got
Everything was
right.
perfect.
Let's
We're
just
going to do it
that
again.
Yeah.
Which is something that I'm also worried they're going to do for Venom. Sony and Venom are going to do. Because it's what happens when big companies see money, they see what made the money and they just do more of it. But there needs to be improvements with this, and if we don't get it, I don't think the same people are going to respond well.
Yeah.
Just because, I don't mean this in any horrible way,
Oh God.
but this series got a lot more coverage and viewership because of the female Doctor.
Yes.
Whereas I feel
think
once
that's undeniable, yeah.
I don't want to use the word, I don't want to say novelty because it's not a novelty, but
No.
once the uniqueness of it wears off, which it will if they're having a year break,
Yeah.
I don't know if it's going to get that much coverage and if that many people are going to care if the stories aren't as good as they should be.
Yeah.
And I think that's down to BBC's hiring, their marketing, and how much they put into the show.
Yeah.
But
That's fair.
we have a whole year to see what happens there,
We do.
and maybe the next couple of weeks before New Year's will tell us.
Yes. Also true. My 5 things kind of cover writing in general, really. But 5 I had just defining who the 13th Doctor is. I just want to see a bit more of the dark side. Right now I feel like she's kind of like warm and fluffy, and I feel like one of her defining things is her facial expressions. She's like, oh, that's so annoying. That's kind of her catchphrase, if you will. Although I like that they haven't just given her a catchphrase, like, there you go, or that. It's not good.
Yeah, I'm not keen on that, but I think that she'd stop using it as much.
Yeah, she kind
Throughout,
of
she
sort
took
of
off.
that. But I almost like that she doesn't really have that. She's not just.
Yeah, she's not a Geronimo, Allensy, fantastic.
Yeah, she's
you
not
have to have a
just
catchphrase.
narrowed down to that, just so you can put it on a T-shirt. And
Yeah.
make 20 quid.
I don't know whether if you read her books that have come out, if that adds any depth. I think I
that's a good
want to
point.
pick one up.
I think I will.
I'm probably going to go for the one with Bradley Walsh on the cover.
I knew you were going to say that.
I think I'll probably try and pick one up and read it between now and New Year's. Just because most Doctor Who books are actually surprisingly good.
They are
I
very
mean,
good. Yeah.
It's obviously, most of it's YA, young adult,
Yeah.
because it's a kids family show. But saying that, a lot of the books are good. If you want to look at Prisoner of the Daleks, Stone Rose,
The Silent Stars Go By is very good.
Voyage of the Damned, they're all like solid Doctor Who books that I recommend reading for anyone, any Doctor Who fan.
I've read The Stone Rose so many times.
There's one that I loved, I think it's The Last Dodo, where it has like
Yeah.
a checklist of the extinct species, and I always used to love looking at things like
Yeah.
that. But so I think I'll pick one up and see if it adds anything to her, or how it puts them written down, because it might be in book form she's actually more prominent, whereas it could be again with TV with time constraints she's not as much. So I think it'd be interesting to see if it's different on a different platform.
Yeah. 4 I just put maybe test the water with a story arc, see how that sticks. 3 just defining Yasmin a bit more, giving her a bit more to do, more of a role, an actual kind of story arc. Now we've kind of explored Graham and Ryan, we kind of know their relationship, maybe give Yasmin that kind of thing. And then 2 I put showing not saying in terms of writing. I think I kind of thought about it earlier. Chibnall, obviously, I think he's most famous for Broadchurch before Doctor Who, and that is showing not saying because it's built on a mystery.
I think you'll find he's most famous for Cyberwoman.
Of course, Torchwood, of course, and Alien Sex Gas in Torchwood Series 1, that iconic episode.
Everything changes now, isn't it?
That's day 1. It's called. Everything Changes is the Weevil one.
Okay, yes.
Yeah. Oh, I remember Torchwood. Rest in peace, Torchwood. But yeah, I think with like Broadchurch, it was like the mystery in season 1 of like the murder, so we didn't need to see it. It was all about what was going on.
That has an arc. That literally has a whole
Yeah.
plot running through it, which is what I thought this series might be.
Yeah.
There'd be one focused villain thing they'd have to solve.
Yeah.
But it turned out to be the complete opposite, and I don't get why they hire a writer that can do big story arcs like that and then
Yeah.
have him do individual ones.
Yeah.
But Okay, I don't know if that's BBC or if that was Chibnall's idea.
Yeah. And then like series 2 of Broadchurch, it was like a lot of it was like in courtrooms and stuff. So there's that kind of thing. We don't really need like action heavy set pieces and stuff when you're in a courtroom. So just saying like, oh, this battle happened like 10 years ago. Here's the remains of it. I'd like to actually see it, and I hope we get it. So I don't want to say like what we got this series was boring, because I don't think that's the right word.
It was. I know somebody described Game of Thrones like this. It's people sat around talking in rooms.
Yeah.
And that's what Game of Thrones is.
There was a lot of talking.
But Game of Thrones does it really well.
And then they have like an episode.
And then they have things. Yeah, but they have things. They can do both really well. And I don't think Doctor Who this series they tried to do exposition scenes. But I don't.
There
think
was a lot of talking in series 11.
No, I don't like talking can be interesting.
I don't mind because Chibnall writes characters very well.
But it's a
just maybe
show.
The stories around those characters that could be improved, I think.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what I meant by that. And then number 1 is just like the monsters and villains in general.
Yes.
Just.
Think about.
I don't mind if they're just evil.
Yeah.
If they just, I want power, even if it's just like one villain who's like that. Then others want have like tragic backstories.
Like the Daleks are. We think everything's terrible.
Just
we want to
kill everything. It's not a Dalek.
Like
yeah.
There can be villains like that. A villain doesn't have to have a deep backstory to be an interesting villain.
Yeah.
If you think of, I'm trying to think of good villains in pop culture. Darth Vader's just evil because he's evil.
Mm.
Like he doesn't really have anything that he's like. He wants to rule the galaxy. That's his motive.
Yeah.
Eventually, he wants to rule the galaxy, but he wants power because he wants power.
Yeah.
It's not because. Well, it's revealed to be because he wanted to save his wife.
Yeah.
That's.
I just want a really good bad guy, someone to hate. And
Yeah.
I think Tim Shaw is the best they've done with that in series 11.
Yes, but I think he only became that in the last episode.
Yeah. But we haven't really had like proper bastards to hate.
It's not been a John Sim.
No.
You don't really hate the villains though in Doctor Who, do you?
No, you applaud and cheer when the Dalek shows up a lot of the time.
I don't know.
But yeah, I just want better written villains, I think, is what I'm trying to say. I just want a right nasty bastard who's just evil because he
Slitheen?
can. The Slitheen.
Are they bad because they're bad?
They just want money, don't they?
Yeah.
Which a lot of Rusty Davies era villains liked.
I do think we haven't had a proper like power hungry villain since John Sim's Master, because even Missy wasn't power hungry.
No.
Even though they're the same person, she wasn't power hungry, whereas the
Master
Master
I kind of like
was.
when they change that up.
Yeah,
You don't want the Master to get stale.
No, but I don't think we've had a power hungry villain since him.
I just want better written villains, is what
Yes.
I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I think I even wrote. Well, I put monster design, so I guess
Yeah.
writing and improvements.
So I wouldn't have minded if Dooms of the Punjab aliens were just evil.
I mean, that's what I mean.
I don't mind what
more.
they did with them, but I felt like they did that quite a lot in Series 11.
Yeah, they're
Like, the big bad is actually a central
inverting your
universe.
expectations.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
But
That's the
you
cool
don't have
thing
to
do.
invert expectations every single time, is what I'm trying to say. But yeah, that's 5 things I hope they kind of work on. Not for the New Year's special. I'm sure that'll be
To
wonderful.
be fair, the New Year's special looks action packed
It
as
looks really-
anything.
I mean, there's explosions and all sorts
So,
going down.
I don't think we've had explosions since the first episode of this series. Kablam!
I mean, that
we had
woman
explosions in Kablam. Sorry.
You thought that woman died in the finale when that exploded.
Oh yeah.
That'd be about
the
it.
thing exploded. I'm like, Yaz, you just left her.
She's dead.
She's burning on
Oh,
that.
she's dead.
No, apparently she's
burning
fine.
alive. No,
We had explosions in Kablam.
yeah,
I think that was big action set pieces in Kablam.
But I don't want to just come across and like, yeah, it's a big explode. This is the best thing
Yeah.
ever. Because I'm not like that at all.
I want to see the pretty fireworks.
I want things to get blown up because Fast and Furious films
So
can
I'm
go down the hole.
America.
I don't care. I don't like them.
No, I'm not a fan of them. But then I am a fan of Mission Impossible.
That's true. I like Mission Impossible.
But I think there's a different kind of action.
Yeah.
Mission Impossible's great.
You know.
Go see it. Sorry.
Whatever. Yeah, I think that very much sums up. Well, I say sums up. This is a long ass video.
We'll still have thoughts after this as well. When the camera goes off, we'll still be
We'll
discussing.
still be talking about this. God knows how long. But yeah, years to. I mean, we have the whole of 2019 to discuss this.
I hope they've got to put out more. I'm hoping they're putting out more books, more comics.
Even if they film
I'm
some
hoping they-
minisodes or something,
Yeah.
it'd be nice.
So I saw someone comment on a YouTube video on their Instagram post, maybe like a couple of specials or a McGann spin-off. a lot of people are craving a Paul McGann spin-off since his mini episode thing in the 50th.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't be against that. I don't think a
No.
lot of Doctor Who fans would be against that. If you just slap the classic logo on it,
Yeah.
maybe you put it on BBC Three, not BBC One, so it's online and people won't get confused if they don't.
They should make
want
series 2 of Class, obviously.
I think they're doing an audio drama at now.
Yeah, they followed it up with all
Yeah,
these,
they're doing Big Finish Class. But that's what I mean. I think they tried Class and it didn't work, so I don't think we're going to get another spin-off for quite a while.
Yeah.
Which I think is a shame, because I think Class wasn't what they should have led with.
No, because that was the year we didn't have Doctor Who, 2016, was when they did
Yeah.
Class.
But I think
It
I'd
didn't
love
really
a
work out.
I'd love a McGann spin-off. But
You
I don't
wouldn't.
think that's ever going to happen.
Oh well. Never mind. It is what it is.
But I hope we have to get more books in 2019.
We simply have to.
Have to have more
You
books.
don't understand.
There has to
BBC, we
be
simply
there
have
has to be
I'll write one.
content though.
All right, call me BBC.
I mean, yeah, I would.
Absolutely. I've got great ideas.
Oh, same. I have loads. Slitheen, come back.
I have a Doctor Who script I wrote like 2 years ago.
To be fair, I have.
Ready to go.
I have a few probably
Call
on
me.
a hard drive somewhere.
Yeah.
I could definitely write for you.
It's
if you want.
called The Night That Nearly Killed You. There you go. Teaser.
We'll do a dramatic reading for you one day.
Yeah, like Charles Dickens and You're Quite Dead.
Or when he appears
Exterior.
on BBC News. Oh. BBC News and the
That
wedding
cameo.
of the-
I can't
That
be-
was a great cameo.
All the characters that bring back Charles Dickens.
Seriously?
I love that so much.
Oh.
That's what they need to do with James I in every episode of Series 12.
Oh. More books. I want more Doctor Who content, even if it's not video.
Yeah, beat me up. Give me a video game.
Yeah, okay. Good luck. Closest you'll get to that, mate, is the Lego Dimensions. Which is good. You can get Doctor Who set for that.
Never mind. But yeah, that is our thoughts on Series 11. Our very
Doctor Who's
long-winded, naggy thoughts. I feel like we were fairly positive.
We were. It's not.
There's not a single episode we hated.
No, we don't
There are
hate-
elements of episodes we
We
hate.
don't hate the series. We don't hate the stories. There's just details that need tweaking,
Yeah.
I think, and some of them made certain episodes be let down.
Yeah.
For me, especially. I think for me, more so
I
than you.
love Jodie. I love the new cast. I love what they're going
I think
for.
all the cast have been really good. I was skeptical when I was coming in, especially with the three companions. I was like, how
Yeah.
youth orientated are they going to make this?
Yeah.
Especially when they revamped Doctor Who magazine.
Yeah.
I was like, are we going to be going like very look kids?
Yeah.
And I'm especially worried that they're doing more CBB stuff.
Mm.
It seems they're doing.
Yeah.
They had her on there, and they're
Yeah,
doing
doing a bedtime
mini
story.
Who workshops or something. I don't know.
The number of comments hating on Jodie that I've deleted on my videos. Like,
Yeah, I don't.
I really want to attack you.
I don't.
Just delete
I don't get Jodie hate. I don't hate any doctors in general.
No.
Some I dislike more than some I don't like as much as others.
Yeah.
But I think as a doctor, although she needs more to do, she's great.
Yeah. Really good. So, that's that, because our opinions are the correct ones.
He doesn't like Lee Mack.
But yeah, I'm sure we'll do some more kind of Doctor Who videos at some point.
I mean, I have a
few
wealth of ideas whenever you've got free time.
You do.
So
Will be the new Review of Death. Have you seen the Review of Death videos? You should watch them. It's Batman March and Billy Garrett John. They are very, very good. But yeah, thank you very much for watching our movie.
you can imagine what films you could have watched in like the time you watched this.
Literally, I bet no one's even still watching this.
If you've stayed to the end, leave a comment saying I've stayed to the end.
Can't wait to see none of those comments. But yeah, thank you very much for watching, if you have, and for all watching all our reactions to Series 11. It's been fun. Hopefully it will be good to do the New Year special, because Dan said you can come over.
Yay!
To comment on
I'm
the reaction.
100% available. I do nothing with my life. So
Neither do I.
I have
Hence
work,
why we've
but
been talking about Doctor Who
I'm
for
free
an
on
hour
New
and a half.
Year's Day, so I mean it's
Yay.
now 12:15. I have a meeting with my lecturer in 12 hours.
I have an assessed performance today.
Everybody wish Liam good luck. He has assessments and stuff. He has to perform in front of people with a slip and slide.
Yay! I'm covering myself in cans of tin food today. So there you go. That's an insight into my course.
Meanwhile, I just finished editing a video which took 5 hours long, and I hope nobody sees it because it's terrible.
That'd be me watching this back.
5 hours long.
5 hours now. I'm not gonna be. Yeah. Thank you for watching. I'm gonna wrap it up now because this is tedious. Yes, I'm sure we'll see you for another video soon. If not, our next one will probably be the New Year's special. But yeah, thanks for watching. Bye.
So long. Yeah.